Hey, what's up, guys? In this one, we have our first conference tournament predictions video. Gonna try to at least get the Power Five out. In this one, we got SEC, which was arguably, either the first or second best conference in college basketball this year, depending on who you asked. I heard a lot of arguments for first, but if you believe they're first or second, either way, this is one of the top premier conferences in college basketball this season, and it's going to be a really fun conference tournament, one I'm excited for. So with all that said, let's jump into it. So in the first matchup, we got 12 seed Arkansas versus 13 seed Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a team that just beat Florida last night, kind of giving them a good win, maybe a momentum building win for next year to go off of, to get a good win, because it was a bit of a struggle for them this season. But in this one against Arkansas, I just think Arkansas has too much talent. This Arkansas team did not live up to expectations, but they still are a very talented team with Trayvon Brazile, Ellis, Trayvon Mark. So there's too much talent here, I think, for Vandy. I like Arkansas in this one to get by. Now we got Georgia versus Missouri. Georgia's a team who's had some really good moments this year, and they've hung tough in a lot of games against some of the best teams in the SEC. And at an 11 seed here, I think they have a chance to maybe win one or two games in this tournament for sure. Especially, I think they're going to get this one against Missouri, who went winless in conference play. Only the second time it's ever happened in the SEC. So definitely am not picking them. So I got Georgia to beat Missouri to advance to play Florida. So we got Arkansas here, and then we got Georgia here. So now let's go up to the top. We got Mississippi State taking on LSU. This is a good matchup. I've spoken before. I really like Mississippi State's defense. It's a tremendous defensive team, and I really like Josh Hubbard. I like him as kind of like that. He's an electric spark plug of a guy offensively. He's an undersized guard, but he's got that quick twitch. He's quick. He's fun to watch. I'm a big fan of him, and they got that, and they got Tolu Smith down low. So they're a good inside out combination. Them two are, and then the defense, as we talked about, it's always going to be good for them. Now they're taking on an LSU team that played really poorly in non-conference, but had pretty good success, middle of the pack in the SEC, which is a testament to them turning their season around, because it was not looking good for them early on, but they turned it around. But I still like Mississippi State to win this one. I really like Hubbard. I like Hubbard in a game like this. I think he has a good one. And I just think the defense gets them this win here against LSU. So we got Mississippi State moving on. Now we got Arkansas versus South Carolina. They played earlier in the year. South Carolina beat them by 13 in that one. And I think Arkansas was at home as well. So now they're on a neutral site. But I'm thinking, South Carolina's fantastic. They're 25-6 this year. I think they're the Providence of 2 years ago, different conferences, but I look at them as the Providence of 2 years ago. But I think we're going to see an upset here, actually. I think this Arkansas team is going to maybe make at least a mini run here in the SEC tournament after having a really disappointing season. Like, Arkansas lately is not used to this type of disappointment, but I think they're going to beat South Carolina. We're going to see a bit of an upset here, and they're going to move on to face Auburn. Now we got Ole Miss, A&M. They just played yesterday. A&M blew them out by 26. Ole Miss has really been on a downfall for the last quarter of the season now, or you could even say more than that. They started out the year 18-3, and they finished 20-11, I believe. So that's 2-8 in the last 10, or it's something in that range. They really struggled down the stretch, and we just saw them get blown out against A&M. So I'm having a hard time believing that they're gonna turn it around in just the next few days and be able to beat A&M. I think that'd be a foolish prediction. So I'm going A&M to beat Ole Miss to face Kentucky in the next round. Now we got Georgia and Florida. They played a couple close games this year, played a couple close ones. So I think, I talked about how I think Georgia out of this 11 seed has a chance to win a couple games, but I just like Florida's backcourt too much. I like Zion Poland, and I like Clayton Jr. I just think those guards are terrific. And you also got guys like Will Richard who can really score it. So there's just so many options. Condon's a good big man off the bench I like. So it's just too much of a complete team for me to say Florida is not going to be able to find a way to win it. But I definitely think Georgia could give them a bit of a scare. But I'm going to go Florida in that one to take on Bama the next round. So now up to the top, we got the quarterfinals now. Now we got Mississippi State taking on Tennessee. They played a really good game earlier this year as well. I think Mississippi State's going to give Tennessee all they can handle, but I believe in Tennessee to find a way to pull this one out. Dalton Connect has been absolutely lethal this last month and a half of the season. I think, but I actually think it'll be the Zakai Ziegler versus Josh Hubbard matchup that's the most interesting in this one. Two electric small guards that help their teams win in many ways. So, but I think that's the matchup to watch. And whoever wins that matchup, well, Mississippi State, if they're going to win, they need Hubbard to win that matchup. But I think that's the matchup to watch in general, is the small guard matchup there. But I like Tennessee to find a way in a close one to get by Mississippi State. All right, so now we got Arkansas versus Auburn. I think Arkansas gets here to the quarterfinals, and maybe there's talk like, oh, what if Arkansas finds a way? Maybe they can be a bid thief. But not so fast. I think Auburn's going to be able to beat Arkansas, and it's going to kind of end a overall disappointing season. I like Auburn to get by and win this one. Okay, so now we got A&M versus Kentucky. A&M's kind of, they're fighting for their lives a bit right now. They need a good run in the dance here if they're gonna, get into the tournament. And now they're taking on a Kentucky team that's been playing really good basketball, coming off that win against Tennessee yesterday. Kentucky is playing much better right now than they did earlier in the season. This is looking like a complete Kentucky team. They're young still, but freshmen by this point in the year, they have a lot of experience under the belt. They're used to playing in pressure games, so this is different. Kentucky does have some experience now. And I like them to get by A&M. Another disappointing SEC team, similar to Arkansas, just did not have the season that I expected them to have. But I think they're going to come up just short in this one. And I like Kentucky to get by. So now we got Florida and Bama. We've seen them play twice recently in recent weeks. Bama got the best of them in the first one, winning in overtime. And then Florida beat Bama by like 20 just the other day. And both times Florida held Bama to like horrendous three-point shooting. I know they shot 25% in the one game, and I think something similar from three in the next matchup. So this Florida-Bama matchup is going to be interesting because, let's see, Florida definitely has the recipe of limiting Bama's three-point shooting. So honestly, I made the mistake in my picks and predictions of going Bama in that one. I like what I've seen out of Florida. I think the guard play is terrific. They have multiple weapons, and they know how to hold Bama to poor three-point shooting. So I think we could see more of that, and I'm going Florida to get the 6-3 upset here and take on Kentucky. So now we got Tennessee versus Auburn in the semifinals. There's a lot to like about that one because there's just electric players on each side. You got Connect, obviously, for Tennessee, but then you got Janai Broome for Auburn. Much improved guard play over the past few years for Auburn as well. So I think this is a good game. But overall, I think Tennessee's a more complete team. That's what it comes down to. I like them on both sides of the ball. I like Tennessee to win that one to get to the championship here. So now we got Kentucky versus Florida. They've had some good matchups this year. Florida was able to go into Rupp Arena and beat them earlier in the year, and I think they're capable of doing it again. I just think they're an electrifying team, and I think Florida's poised to make a run here from the 6th seed spot. It's not going to be easy to beat Kentucky. Not going to be easy at all because they have Dillingham, Shepard. They got a trio of big men back that they didn't have early in the season when they suffered some of those early season losses. But I like Florida to make a bit of a crazy run here and get to the championship game. Now we got Tennessee versus Florida in the championship game. And the first thing that comes to my mind is Florida has already played 3 games just to get to this point. So that's 4 games in 4 days for them. I think tired legs are going to come into play, as well as Tennessee with the double bye, getting the 1 seed, has only played 2 games coming into this game. I think that's a big factor here. They should have fresher legs, as well as earlier in the year, Tennessee beat Florida by 19. So I think it's a fantastic run for Florida. They obviously improved their seed line by winning 3 games in the tournament here, but I think Tennessee's gonna get by Florida, and tired legs and stamina is kind of an issue here. And I think Tennessee's going to get it done. So Tennessee is my champion in the SEC tournament. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.